Now let's make some noise for the boys. Roy, coach of Destroy. Howie, coach of the Guru.
Guru from the Gurus.
Aka, coach of GTR Tokyo. Calvin, coach of the Calvinators. And
He is a fan favourite, the Warn Dog. Hello and welcome to the Fan Show. Massive lineup for you today. And remember, this show is about you. So jump on the internet. You can get yourself involved. Come down with the crowd. Great to see the Cooper squad down here today from Nair League. We want you involved. So jump on the internet. Whether you're a first time at fantasy footy or whether you're an expert, you can get involved and learn some things from these very esteemed gentlemen around me. Who better to start with than a man that played in 3 premierships and a Brownlow medal, was always first picked in his own fantasy footy team. Jason Ackermanis. Now, Acker, some of your boys have been letting you down. I know you don't like to pot people, but you might be having a crack.
No, it's safe to say, and I've done many more things than you said, but don't worry about that. My team used to be easy, guy, because I used to just make myself captain. I'd get, top of the tree. It would be easy. Not now. No, I've actually got to pick other people, like Dane Swan and Pendlebury, and hope these blokes can come back week after week. And then I've got a couple of dribblers. And I love dribblers, particularly guys like Carmichael Hunt, or whatever the hell his name is. Let me tell you, when he goes bad, he was cheap early. You try and get rid of him now. Get someone else that can fill that role. It's awful. And then I've got a couple more I'd love to get rid of, like Gian Syracuse. He can't get any higher, boys.
Aka, that's your first stupid thing you've said today.
What are you saying?
Keep a tally.
I'm going to say more.
I don't think there's any need to bring the Western Bulldogs chip into the show, Aka.
What are you saying?
I think we'll wind you up for the moment. Aka just having a fair crack at the Bulldogs. Roy, the Destroy boys, what do you got for us this week?
Well, I'm actually going to head down to Melbourne to check out their training sessions. They've been rubbish as a team, Howie, but doesn't mean there's no fantasy value down there, so I'm going to go check it out.
There is no fantasy value. They're crap. They're crap.
Yeah, fair call. Well, we'll confirm that later.
Indeed, that's a good thing down to the AFL clubs. Calvin, he's been hanging around schools.
I have. Yeah, you make it sound pretty creepy. It's not that bad. I went down to Brighton Secondary College, met up with a young fella called Andrew. He's actually got a pretty good team himself. Barrel of laughs, great interview. He gives us a bit of a hot tip on the captains as well, so we'll catch up with him later on.
You talked to a couple of stiffs. Check out that one, that'll be great.
Yeah, that'll be a highlight later on the show. And of course, one of the ladies' favourites on this show, the Warn Dog Warnie, the Twitter, the social exploding.
It has been a huge week because we've got so many problems, and the biggest one of all has been the ruck problem. And I tell you what, I don't know, it's been rucking huge, so we'll try to deal with those issues later on.
Sharp work there, Warnie. All right, let's get into the first game of the round. It is the Mighty Hawks. They're up against Port Adelaide Power. It's the MCG, the Hawks. Mate, Roy, have they got some forward power?
Yeah, I'm all over this game. It is going to be an absolute fantasy feast at the MCG. All the big guns from the Hawks will absolutely smash it. One thing I noticed in team selection, Isaac Smith, boys, is named on a wing.
We'll rack it.
He's nipping at the heels of some of the premiums from the other teams. I'm actually thinking about putting Isaac on the ground. From Port, they're absolutely rubbish. Lobie's in there.
You wouldn't pick a Port player the way you're going.
No, you wouldn't pick a Port player. However, there is one of slight relevance. It might be the answer to your rucking problems, Warnie. Lobie. If you've got problems there, he could fill the spot. I don't know.
You're not going to get much from him, though.
You won't. We'll discuss it later, I reckon.
I don't think you get much from Port Adelaide either. They are up against a very strong Hawthorn side. We move on from that. Fremantle versus Carlton. Carlton are trying to make the top 4 now. Calvin, do we get any value? Is Sandlands going to play?
Sandlands will play. I reckon he will. He's
a big hoof. Is his hoof all right?
Turf toe.
Well, his hoof's...
Turf toe, is it?
Turf toe.
Whatever it is.
If his hoof's this big, your ego would be that. So I wouldn't be too concerned about.
It could never be that big.
He's right. Sandy's back. Obviously, Mzungu as well. He's another one. Tough decision.
Has been starring.
Whether you're going to play him on your field or sit him on your bench. And, of course, the mighty Chris Judd. Man, he will kill. He'll kill Freo at Patterson's Stadium. So look out for him. He'll have a big one.
Massive game, that one. Now we've given Aka Essendon versus his favourite football club, the Western Bulldogs. Aka.
Yeah, big call this one. I think if you know anything about footy, and thankfully some of us on this panel do, I tell you that Essendon always beat Western Bulldogs, even when they were going crap. Even when they had Matthew Knights and didn't even like him, they said stuff and they still won. But now I can tell you they'll have a feast in the midfield and up forward. Guys, my size boys will actually get a lot of points on this game because the Bulldogs are a bit wishy-washy at the moment. I wouldn't be trusting them. And Gian Syracuse, I had to get you out of my team because I stabbed you up there and then all of a sudden you become this great player. of what a wonderful player you were, and the points went up. Now you're back to being normal crap, so get rid of him.
100-game player, Daniel G. Syracuse.
He's a very...
Barry Hall.
He's a very good average player.
He's on the final stretch. He's been racking it up, Barry Hall,
He has.
hasn't he?
Kicking
We love
a lot of
Baz.
goals.
He's a big guy, Baz, and he's a lovely guy if you actually know anything about him. He's got 2 of the best tattoos I've ever seen on his ass. But anyway, you can see the end of his career. He said, that's it. You know, I used to run 400, 150 metres ago. I would churn it up. Last 50, Baz can see it. He said, that's it. I'm out here, and he is playing inspired football. After July, he grows an extra leg, he grows an extra yard, and he will do that again. He'll get some good points for you, and you can still get him cheap.
Are we meant to pick him or not pick him from that summation?
I don't know, but he's got a good ass.
Pick
and good
him.
tackle.
Pick him, because those forward line, you've got Leon Davis down there, is finally coming good because Shaw's gone out of the side, and guys like this. So you must get him in because he's still good value, and he's going to get a lot of ball, lots of look at ball.
Aka, a bit of fantasy relevance here. Brent Stanton, is he turning into a fantasy pig, or what do you reckon?
He's a pig.
He is a pig.
Remember, he's actually off 2 in golf, and clearly he's been using his spare time to do golf. Now he's actually putting it into everything he should.
Sitting in the back line and racking up those cheap junk time points.
Exactly, the way we love it. Put him in a very good spot, and he's still good value. Put him in, he's going to get some good points this last part of the year. He's been literally pillared everywhere in the media. He's motivated, and his golf's going out. That's good, because his
Fantasy pig, Brett Stanton. You heard that in the last 19 minutes from Jason Ackermanis. The final match of the round is the Q clash between the Coasters, who won this earlier on in the season, Warn Dog, and the Brisbane Lions, who are battling ever since Ackermanis.
Well, yeah, up at the Gabatoir, we've got a couple of big things. Brisbane Lions not showing us too much, except for the 2 boys in the midfield there, Rockcliffe and Redden. They have been absolutely sensational. They've been going off, but the big news is coming out, obviously. Ablett is back, so we're all very, very excited about that.
Are you concerned that...
He doesn't play well at the Gabba? Just sort of throw that one. Never plays well
Well,
at the Gabba. I don't know.
Well, no, look, he hasn't had 100 there. He's actually, like, his scores are very, very poor there. But the big thing I want to talk about, last time these 2 teams played, Redden, Rockcliffe and Ablett all didn't score a fantasy 100. So are you concerned about that at all?
Not really. It's still Gary Ablett. He's had his week off, so I reckon he'll come back and should smash it out.
Nothing to do with fantasy football. Rockcliffe and Redden live together in a street, and they've got the name of that street tattooed on their bums. Guaranteed. I've seen one of them. It's not a pretty sight.
I was going to say, how do you know that?
Oh, I just know these things. You sniff around the change rooms long enough, you see these things.
One other little bit of fantasy news for us is that old Bluey McKenna came out and said to us that he might rest Zach Smith. He has been named, so we can breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief there, but...
I get confused. There's Isaac Smith, Zach Smith. There's one better than the other because he's a big monster and he can play.
Can play. They can all play. Now, talking about play, you've been down to Melbourne this week, Roy boy, and there's a few boys down there who reckon they should be in your team. So this segment's called Pick Me. Let's see which Melbourne players reckon they should be in your fantasy footy team.
Welcome to this week's Pick Me. I'm lucky enough to be here with Ricky Pettard and Colin Garland. What's the team name?
Believe it or not, my team name is I Just Want to Beat Garlo.
I just went with something simple. Mine's just Colin's team, mate.
Sounds good, boys. Now, are you in the finals, and how are you looking?
Yeah, just snuck in. I think I finished 7th, so yeah, just ready to take it up to the boys on top.
Yeah, I'm a top 4 sort of guy, so playing Brad Green this week to get through to the preliminary final.
Obviously, big game. Who have you backed in as captain?
This week I did a bit of research and I looked at Buddy playing against Port, and I think he's ready to fire. I think he can kick a few.
You got to go Swanee.
Now, fellas, I've got a few fantasy-related questions to ask you just to see if you're on the ball, okay, whether you're worthy of a spot in Destroy. Colin, you need to elaborate on this. Do you kick or handball, mate?
Well, you definitely kick, I guess, because it's worth more points in Dream Team.
Okay, Ricky, you're in the pocket. Should you centre the ball and do the team thing or have a snap and go for glory?
Well, mate, I'm not in the team for assists, so I've got to kick it on him.
That sounds like a good idea to me. You got about 10 seconds each to tell me why I should pick you, Ricky, over Colin. Go for it.
Well, look, mate, obviously playing up forward to get more touches than what Colin does. Like I said before, he punches and handballs a lot, which I seem to kick and take march. So, you know, back yourself in, do the right thing, and yeah, you'll be rewarded for it.
Hit him back, mate.
Yeah, look, well, Ricky's probably right that he does score more than me occasionally, but look, he's very injury prone, so he's had some weird injuries over the time. His shoulders, hips, he's had a lung, so he can find an injury from anywhere. So if you want a bloke that's going to play 22 games, pick me.
Okay, basically both boys are legends. I cannot split them, so I've come up with a final challenge. Warn Dog's sitting over there, boys, on his mobile phone. You hit him with that ball nice and hard and you're in my team. commiserations, Ricky. I would have loved to have you in my team, mate, but obviously you missed the Warn Dog, so green vested. See you later, mate. Colin, well done, mate. Ricky's probably the better fantasy player out of the two, but you nailed the Warn Dog. Welcome to Destroy. How does it make you feel?
No, it's great, mate. Yeah, obviously Ricky's probably going to be the better scorer, but I guess the better bloke won in the end. So yeah, bad luck to Rick. It's probably the first target I've hit all year. So
absolute gold, mate. Thanks a lot.
I believe in a thing called love. Just listen to the rhythm of my heart.
Welcome back to The Fan Show, the show that is all about you. So jump on the website, www.fanshow.com.au. Get yourself involved. It's now my pleasure for the first time to run through a game this week, boys. I got the Sydney game versus the Tigers. Adam Goodes, he could have won the game for the Swans last week against the Bombers. I'm thinking about keeping him in. Is he mentally destroyed from last week?
No, he had a bad last quarter in terms of the game, but he still racked up the points. So keep him in, mate. I probably wouldn't put him captain after that, but yeah, definitely.
And traditionally, Goodsy finishes a year very, very strongly. So
he does. I just hope he's not.
He looks good.
Destroyed.
No, he looks good. I'd be thinking seriously about it. In fact, he's been their best player all year. He's been carrying that group. His shoulders must be very sore.
He's actually projected to score 141 against Richmond this week in SuperCoach, so keep an eye on that. Yeah. He should be pretty good.
I tell you, another bloke who want to get involved, and I reckon just for Dream Team, Tucky, Shane Tuck. The coach obviously doesn't like him, Acker. He keeps him out of the side. However, he might turn it over. He might turn it over. So he's not a SuperCoach man, but Dream Team racks him up, boy.
Yeah, he certainly does. He's basically one of the safest players in the league to knock up 100, Warren, don't you reckon?
Yeah, definitely. And he's probably a piglet at the moment. He's getting there. He can get himself up there. He does get a fair bit of loose ball, which is nice.
He's on the teat. And if you want to buy a horse, if you're going to buy a horse at a gelding, you'd buy him. He's your safe bet. He doesn't cost that much money. And just remember, he's an airhead. So he's going to float around and get kick after kick.
Better remember, not in your SuperCoach team, because he does like kicking the ball to the opposition frequently. Roy, Melbourne versus West Coast. They're big, they're strong, they're tough, and
yeah, they certainly are. The big news here for West Coast, there's been a week of talk about Dean Cox missing after that injury last week, so he has been named, which is positive. However, I'll still label it a small Cox issue. Now, Calvin, you've lived your life with a small Cox. Is there anything to worry about here?
Bang, Roy,
bang! With this. Just stick to your game.
You've got Acker
here. You live together, didn't you?
Yeah, we did pass in the shower a couple of times there. Now,
a bit cold in Launceston. Don't worry about it.
The big deal here is Coxie last week. He was injured, played a lot out of the square, and his score was negatively affected by that. So just keep an eye on it. For Melbourne, Colin Sylvia's back, which should be positive news. However, his lead up to that game, he'd been rubbish, boys.
Yeah, he hasn't been very good. He'd been dropped. He doesn't know about his contract. He's got things going on that a footballer doesn't like. He's thinking about next year as well as this year. He's not going to perform that well. I wouldn't be putting him anywhere near. If he's on your team, put him in, but not too much.
He dropped for being selfish, though, which is perfect for fantasy football.
It would be if you're in the team. Anyway, he's back in the team, which is a start, but I don't think he's going to be that great. He's going to do a few things, but not what you expect him, what he should be doing with his talent.
Yeah, well, the issue I have with him, he was sent back there to do a defensive role, and now he's back in the team. So I'm hoping he's left his defensive mindset with Casey, because he's going to be absolutely rubbish if he comes back manning up on someone. Come on.
He needs to rack him up now. Acker, the final match of the round, it's over at Amy Stadium. It's the twilight game. It's Adelaide who are battling. They've got a new coach on board, though, so their boys are up and about. I love Rory Sloane. They're up against the Cats.
You should love Rory Stone, because my brother's named Rory, and he is an idiot. But before that, before I mention that, Adelaide, what they've done is they've got a new coach now, and he's playing for his career as well. They are going to play good footy. They're going to have guys in that are very cheap. They're going to get lots and lots of points. That said, Geelong, big ground, can run a bit. They've got a great game plan. And on top of that, I reckon, the way it's all shaping, Mooney, these kind of guys, all these guys that you kind of don't really got too much fuss over, Stokes, they're going to get good numbers. They're going to get lots of looks at ball, and they're going to run into space. They love that ground. I would expect a moderately good win. Not a big win, but a moderately good win.
I think a big concern there is Chapman's been named on the extended bench. Do you reckon he'll get a gig?
He will. Not because any other reason, but Chappie, if he misses games, it's early in the week. Everyone goes, he's missing.
And they've got
He
their
never
bye
does
next week too, so
Oh,
they're
he'll
probably
play.
not going to rest this week.
No, they're not going to rest. I know Chris Scott, my old teammate, he's resting and he's been resting, but now they had a bunch of injuries. They can't do it anymore. They've run out of talent to do that with, so he will be playing, putting
He
in.
might be
He's a
tough, but I
cracker.
don't think he's tough enough to leave Paul Chapman out of the side, to be honest.
No.
Jimmy Bartell, 200.
Yeah, now Jimmy Bartell and his 200th, I cannot believe that you didn't mention him there as a, automatic 100 points.
Now, you know what happens in your 200th? You got to do 8 times more media. You got to talk to every man and their dog. All your family want tickets. But by the time you get to the game, you just wrap the game's going on. Mentally, you're that fatigued anyway. I can't see you getting big points because you run around going, man, this has been a big week, and the ball's there, geez. He's not going to score well, don't worry.
Do you think the boys just, you've won 3 premierships, you've won a Brownlow, the boys are questioning do you think they're getting a bit ahead of themselves?
I think it's everyone in this audience, as good as they have been, know for a fact that you guys are way ahead of yourself. I reckon you blokes think you're that popular, it's not funny.
Well, Akka, we went down for a coffee the other day, and I think the evidence is in the clip. Have a look at this one.
So this is you boys just down in Lygon Street, is it? It's a fair turnout, to be honest.
It's a good crowd.
Here we are.
Have a look at the boys.
In the crowd, there you go.
Just can't go anywhere these days, can you?
Three pretty ugly blokes from Launceston, and you got 35,000. Well, maybe you are right.
Dressed in yellow, I'm thinking
All
something not
right,
right
that was
here.
some very
Something not right.
crisp work from the videotape department with that gag, Roy. We might lay that one again next year. All right, it's time to talk the big issues, Warnie. You've been telling me about rucking all day. What's going on?
Yeah, well, we're about to go and get rucked here because there you go, a good one. You like that
Not
one?
bad for you.
Yeah, anyway, the ruck, we've got Petrie out this week. They've got the bye, so that's a huge issue for people. A lot of people have him as their ruck. Good thing about him, bit of dual position, so you might be able to get him into the forward line. However, you've got him out. Then, as I said earlier, we've got Zach Smith could possibly be out, a late withdrawal there. And Roy said Cox, and I've got a tweet here, and it pretty much says, I've got Cox issues.
Well, hey, go down to the chemist, a $10 cream, clear it up. It's called Lamisil.
Calvin, all right, okay, works though.
I'm amazed.
Now,
I'm surprised you know that, but I've got to say,
mate told me.
Zach Smith, we've had Clark from Brisbane, he is upset, he's going to leave. And I've also liked Leuenberger, the great German.
Yeah.
He is getting points. He's starting to fill out his potential. So get him in if you need a second guy.
Calvin, one ruckman. Who's the ruckman we go for this week? If we have to get a ruckman in, who's in?
Oh, mate, I'm with you. Leuenberger all day for me. He clocks up points just from hit-outs alone. Like, he'll knock up 40 hit-outs. He only needs to touch the ball probably 10 other times around the ground to get himself up near 100.
I'm sorry, McElroy from Saints.
You've got his name wrong even.
Sorry,
It's
McElroy. Not the fish. I had the fish last week. McElroy.
Geez, this guy knows his stuff, doesn't he?
Temper,
I know my
McElroy.
guy. No, he's great. He is very good. He's been racking up points.
All right.
Try and find one.
You go.
he's coming into the Warn Dogs, McAvoy. There you go.
McAvoy.
That's how we say his name.
All right.
Sorry.
Let's move on to the second
Macca.
big issue of the week. This is your department, Calvinator. Chris Scott said during the week that he had rested Corey Enright. They're running into finals. We're getting worried about blokes being rested.
Biggest thing is, mega. Like, coming up towards grand final time, round 24 for DTs and Supercoaches. Will these guys be rested? The last game of the year, Collingwood versus Geelong, and of course Hawthorn versus Gold Coast. Will guys be rested? Now, who better to ask than the guy himself here?
That's me.
The record holder for finals. He's played 29 AFL finals. You hold the record.
I
What
do.
a suit. Tell me
The
this.
AFL.
Now, the question is this.
Not the VFL, the AFL.
Yeah,
Two
approaching
different leagues.
finals, your own personal finals, when would you have wanted to be rested?
I would love to be rested, except we had a great thing with the BNF. You played, you got points, you could win the BNF, so I couldn't give a crap about getting rested because I wanted to win as much as I could within reason. Now, I don't know if they have that exact same thing. Don't worry, this show's all about me. It says that on the shirt. But before that, you've got to understand, if you're Geelong, you don't rest the last round because if you're Geelong, you're in the top 4. You win that one, you get a week off. Then you're playing prelim. So you've got 2 games. They're not going to rest.
So when
Trust
will
me.
they rest at all? Will they rest
Round 23, if at best. Most players don't want to flirt with their form. They don't want to miss. If I was a player, I hate missing rounds of footy because you know what they do? They go and overtrain you and flog you around the track. It's rubbish. It drives you nuts.
Not all players are as selfish as Akka, though.
No,
that's right.
Thankfully, it'll be a tough one the final round, though, when Geelong plays Collingwood. We'll get to that next week.
Oh.
Roy boy, the bench players, the lesser lights, are starting to overtake the so-called superstars.
Yeah, they certainly are, Howie. The ones I've got a real issue with this week, who do you play out of Mzungu, Isaac Smith, when you've got players like, you know, Sylvia, even Rewald against Collingwood this week is a massive issue. What do you boys think?
That's been a huge one that's come through on Twitter this week, is pretty much, do we get Colin Sylvia straight back in while we've got Isaac Smith and Mzungu coming off 90s and 100s in the last couple of weeks? Why would you put him in for that? So, yeah, I don't know. I'm a bit of an old school dream team. I think, you know, Colin Sylvia, former premium, gun, you've got to stick with him, but I don't know, others might think differently.
I'm the same. I chase the name. If I see Rewald, Sylvia, those guys come straight, it makes my team a little bit more intimidating as well, I reckon.
No one looks at your team, thankfully. I reckon get rid of them. Get rid of them because guys like Rewald are going to want to be playing well in finals. They're going to give a crap about the round robin stuff. You know, they're over that now. Those guys, the younger guys, they're going to play well. Remember, Dream Team top stand. Then all those guys are going to get your points. Well, you're not going to be in it, eh? Everyone's going to be finished. The grand final's going to be done. Think about it. You got to be realistic and you got to play the percentages. Rewald, don't worry about that. I go around, I got a photo of you, but don't worry about that. Accept that. Get him out of your team.
Yeah, well, my motto this week for this one, to sum it all up. Yeah, I know. I don't know what he's talking about.
Haven't you seen his photo? It's a great photo. Not the best part of him. It's a little cold. Keep going.
My motto for this one is don't think goo. Mzungu all the way. I was talking to Aka earlier.
Brilliant.
Wow, you want to go that again?
What? Wow. Don't think goo. Mzungu it is. And the reason is, he's playing at Subiaco. Aka was saying to me yesterday that on that big open ground, really good turf, players like him are going to rack up a ton of possessions.
They're going to kick. A lot of kicking on Subiaco, bigger ground, you've got to find your targets. And remember, the ground over there is actually easy to stop, turn, pivot, all that stuff that you want. Over here, that long, skinny, crappy grass, they have it in Tasmania, it's rubbish, it's mostly dirt. You've got to think of these things. It's not just about one thing. SuperCoach, Fantasy 40, you name it, Dream Team. It's about thinking about everything, whether you name it. You've got to be ahead of the pack.
You've got to consider the grass, don't you?
Thanks.
That's what Snoop Dogg would say.
Thanks for that, Tony Gregg. Beautifully done. After the break, we'll be speaking to a superstar from the Collingwood Football Club, Mr. Nick Maxwell. But before that, it's the first time we welcome on the Fan Show a man that he's not into passion, he's not into players, he's into numbers, he's into statistics. His name is Professor Albert Lord, and he will tell you who to pick this week in your fantasy footy team.
Oh, hello there, Albert Lord here, PhD, DTSC. You might know me as the greatest fantasy coach in the world. Now today I'm going to explain fantasy trading, which is never more important than finals time. To do this, I've come down to my local watering hole just for you. Well, I lie, I've been here since last night, but play on! The sideways trade is very popular at finals time because it allows you to avoid a zero, commonly known as a donut, by swapping players at a similar prices. For example, if I have a cordial that happens to be injured, I can swap this cordial to another cordial for no extra cost. Now remember, if you're lucky enough to have lots of trades left at this time of year, you could downgrade your cordial to a water, and with that extra money, upgrade to a premium. Now bear in mind, when you have a premium, lots of other people are going to share that player.
Cheers!
Oh, cheers!
Welcome back to The Fan Show, www.thefanshow.com.au. Get yourself involved. It is now time to talk, thanks to Toyota and the AFL. It is Dream Team time. Boys, 2,351 for me this week. Won all my competitions. Dane Swan, highest score of the round. My captain, thank you very much. Zach Smith from the Gold Coast, Aka. 34 points. I reckon a lot of the Gold Coast boys, the young kids, are starting to get tired. He's got to go for mine.
Yeah, he's got to. They're flat. All those young guys up there are going to be dribblers now. Not because they are next year. Oh, watch out. But this year, nah, it's just normal, normal first-year blues. And there's too many of them. Get him out.
He's gone. He's gone. Zach Smith, Warn Dog. You're never so Ruth. Your team just going very nice.
Well, it is going all right. 22-52, so I'm very, very happy with that. However, I lost the most crucial game of the year, which got me out of the top four after sitting there all season. Knocked out of the top four, so I've missed my double chance, and yeah, a little bit disappointed with that. But I don't know. I've still got a fair bit of firepower for these finals.
So you're giving advice to the people of Australia you can't even make top four?
Well, yeah. When you've got blokes like Roy in your team, he's up and about.
Calvinator, how have you gone?
Worse. It's actually gone worse than Warner.
Another expert on the Fan Show. 22. What these blokes tell you, you'll go beautifully.
22.50.
Did you make the top 8?
No. No, but I'll tell you what though, my team on paper.
This old chestnut, we got this every
If
single week.
only Kaczynski could take a mark.
On paper, my team is brilliant. They're just not getting it done. But you know,
You can't go out there and kick it for them.
I can't do it for them. All I can do is pick them and back them in. Jeez, I wish I can go do it, but I
Akka,
just can't.
have you had any luck this week?
No, my team is as average as my mother-in-law's cooking on Sunday. But don't worry about that. At least you might be absolutely happy to get a really nice pasta, but not on my team. They've got 10 trades left. Clearly, haven't been ruthless enough.
Who's let you down?
Higgins. Are we finished with him? Okay, forget about him. No, a couple left me down. Leon was struggling for a while, and I'm thinking about how do I move him on. Cracker, Leon's come good. Cracker's going all right. I really don't know what I'm doing. Can you come see me, boys, afterwards and tell me what I should do? Because I have no idea.
You are the man to tell the nation because we've had a loss, we've had a big.
Oh no, I'm in top. No, I'm in top 2 of my competition. There's only 3 in there, but that doesn't matter. I mean, there's not a big competition.
Akka's team is that bad. He's got 10 trades left. If you use 2 trades every week from here on in, you're still going to have 2 left when the whole thing finishes.
I was way off.
He thinks you can save him up for next year, but that's all right.
Yeah,
We'll learn the hard way
Roy
there.
Boy, how are you going?
Well, I hate to talk it up,
boy,
but
here
we've
we
obviously saved the best till last. I'm actually a chance to win the car. I'm sitting about.
Roy!
Super Roy.
Thanks. Massive applause from the crowd.
Not really, Roy, if you haven't figured.
Have we got any proof? Have we got any
Who's
proof
the
at
men
all?
that are getting you across the line?
Well, basically, nearly every gun in the competition, I've snuck them in there. I don't know how I've done it, but it's your Swans, you know, Pendles, Shieldsy's in there, and Unique, Mitchell. All the boys are smashing it for me. Suckers. So I've come first in the league. I'll cruise through that final series, but yeah, I'm eyeing off the carp.
And nice to see John Elliott looking after Roy's salary cap.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, John, this is my favourite segment. It is called My Sweet Dream Team. So over to Alex. He does a beautiful job, this man. This is My Sweet Dream Team.
G'day guys, Alex here, and I've come down to the Crows today to do some stuff with Kurt Tippett. Legend, how you going, mate?
Not too bad.
Good, hands are wet. Could be piss. And you know what, I don't care, because he's a top bloke. And it's not actually pissing. No. Because I know I said that before, I didn't care, but obviously in reality, that's just gross.
No, you're right.
Okay. Consistent dream teamers kick goals, so we're gonna put Kurt through his paces and kick a couple of goals. You ready to go, mate?
Ready to go.
Awesome. Back. Okay, there's, all right, if he kicks this, I will root that fat Rachel bird from the pub. Hold me to it. All right, let's go. She's so fat. So what was the best advice you ever got given as a junior growing up playing footy? Something like running straight lines or first give or something?
Dad always used to tell me to always watch the ball right into my hands.
Yep. Oh, was it? So did my dad as well, yeah. He used to use like incentives as well. I don't know if your dad did that. Like, he used to sit me down before a game and say, like, if you ever tell anyone about me hitting your mum around when I'm drunk, you'll never play footy again. And just straight away, I was like in the zone ready to go. Did he do?
No. Oh, nothing like that.
Missing out. So Kurt, you're in my dream team. Haven't been getting sort of massive scores, but we're not worried about that. I think the main concern for me at the moment is I put a lot of money on you for the Coleman medal. What's going to happen with that? How we?
Well, I'll have to do my best.
Yeah.
Kick a bit straighter. A few more each week, possibly.
It's good. It's just it was a lot of money, $7,000 that I put on you, which was I borrowed from some pretty dodgy blokes. So I'm all fucked if you don't win it. So but you know I shouldn't be. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be pressuring you into. Let's move on, shall we? Yeah. So the Crows this year, I found with the Crows watching them, it's a lot of money. $7,000, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pretty desperate. Can you win it?
I'll do my best for you.
Okay. I mean, in worst case scenario, you don't win it. I turn to drugs, get depression. You know, probably just end it all somewhere down the line, and that's on you. You have to live with that. But yeah, worst case scenario, probably won't happen.
I'll do my best.
Yeah. Still, I think win it. So whereabouts do you live, Tippo?
Oh, pretty close here. Yeah.
Yep. What's your actual sort of address?
I live in Glenelg.
Okay, yeah, Glenelg. I don't think we quite. I need to actually know your actual street and your number. I don't see how I can come around for beers in a spa every night if I don't know where you live.
Yeah. Well, it's sort of down that way. Yep, down that way.
I'm down here in the Collingwood club rooms, and I'm lucky enough to be able to talk to the captain, Nick Maxwell, after their big win against the Saints. Come with me. Maxie, well done, mate. Maxie?
Oh, sorry, mate. Just checking the dream team.
Oh, right. How'd you go?
Yeah, Swanee 137. He was skipper, so that's not too bad. Joel's had to bring Joel's in. He's 99. I'm happy with that. Yeah, no, looks all right. Pendle's 107. Yeah, pretty happy with that.
Did you check your own score, Maxie? I haven't heard you quote that one yet.
Yeah, my score is 131. Looks like.
Oh, well done. Good knock, mate. Well done. Raise the phone with 130.
I might be reading that wrong.
Now, Maxie, I've got a bone to pick with you. Do you or do you not have Sam Fisher in your team?
I do.
Then what the hell are you doing a defensive job like that?
Look, despite what people think, I know Dream Team means a lot to a lot of the players, but Collingwood means more to me.
Now, a big question here. Didak has started as sub both games back, and he's only played a bit over a quarter, basically got to 50 both times. He's starting to look good. Do you reckon it's worth probably getting him in next week?
I reckon it is, yeah. He's obviously got that role where he can be a mid or a forward, so I'd suggest that next week he'll be coming straight into the team rather than being that sub, because we want to obviously manage his load, bring him back from, I think it's about 6 or 7 weeks out, so he's getting a bit old, Didzer, getting a bit old like me, so we want to make sure that we manage him properly coming back in.
Now, a big concern with us fantasy coaches at the moment is bringing Collingwood players in and having them potentially rest. Can you give me a bit of a clue who might be likely to rest or not to rest?
Look, I don't think there'll be too many resting, but don't quote me.
All right, mate. Thanks heaps for that. Well done on your win tonight. Well done on your massive 131 as well, mate. That's got to be a personal best, I'd say. But good luck for the rest of the season. Good luck getting through the finals this week.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Well, he is ranked 2,622 in the Toyota AFL Dream Team. I'm not sure he always tells the truth though, Maxie. 131. I watched that game. Where'd you rack him up?
No, I think he meant for the season.
Right.
I've got to ask her, how are you going? Because they forget to tell you when you do stuff on this side of your body, you generally use this for pretty much everything. How are you going to the toilet, for instance? Because I'm thinking that this way is probably a lot easier than this way.
Yeah, we'll get into the private life, I suppose, Zach. Yeah, it's not going great, but fortunately enough, we take a lot of tablets at the moment, so there's not too much that goes on after an operation.
I think I'm actually going to change the path of this interview. Now, bleeding obvious here, mate. How is the thumb coming along?
Yeah, I know that a lot of dream teams out there are going to be pretty shattered. They're going to have to trade me out of their team. All 4 of them. Yeah. But I've told the family that I won't be playing for a few weeks. So
be very careful what you tell your family.
Exactly. Dream team, I can tell them anything.
Yes.
Now, I've actually got a...
Don't bet.
I actually reckon that... is it true you sort of busted your thumb with all the refreshing that went on after the game when you saw 31? Look, is this or is this not your phone? Too much refreshing there, mate?
It could be, yeah. I was thinking surely I had more than 31, so I think in the end I just threw it.
Is there something you need to say down the barrel of that camera to the people that have picked you in the side? There's a rumour that you possibly have just got a little chip on your thumb. You should be out there playing week in, week out. Is there anything you want to say to the people you've let down?
Darren Mullane would have done.
Yeah, a lot of blokes will still be out there, I think.
Look, I understand I'm pretty soft, but look, we've got some guys coming back from injury, and I want to make sure that they got into the team, and Mick didn't have too many hard decisions to make, so I thought I'd take a few weeks off myself and get girls like Alan Tuvey back in.
Ultimate team man, boy.
Yeah, he is. Now, Maxie, I see you've got a few of the big name pies in your team. Subconsciously or consciously, do you look for them over a couple of the other boys?
Well, it's funny because last weekend's Port Adelaide, I gave Swanee 2 goal assists. And he came straight up to me and goes, "Was I captain?" I said, "Yeah, you were actually."
Oh, brilliant.
There's something I'm not real happy about. What's this stupid comment you made about how you actually look after Collingwood more than your dream team, mate?
Oh, no, Mick was standing on the side of the camera. So, yeah. Good. Right. Dream team's number 1. St Joey's onslaught, that's what it's about. Beautiful.
Does he have a coach? Does Mick have a team? The general jovial fellow
Mick doesn't know how to use a computer.
Doesn't have a team?
He gets his daughters to do his tweeting for him. So
Who's the number 1 man? Like, you boys love it down at Collingwood. Yep. I know it gets pretty serious, dream team and SuperCoach.
Yep.
Who's right into it down there?
Myself, Swanee, Dids, Nathan Buckley's in the top 4. A couple of our trainers are in the top 4, so they take it pretty seriously.
Do you have a league though in Collingwood?
Yeah, we're the Collingwood League. Right. Yeah. So
now you're coming into finals, so there has to be like top 8.
Yeah. Well, so I'm through to the prelim, and as is Bucks. both of us are through. So
I wouldn't like to lose Bucks. I wouldn't have thought.
He's very competitive, man.
Nah, very competitive. Yeah.
Do you reckon this will help his coaching?
Do you want to know something? He had Fisher captain last week.
He's backing you in.
And I found out and I said, what the hell is going on here? I said, serves you right, 82.
Nice.
82, that's great.
Now, Maxi, good chance to plug your website here. I'm in a competition on your website, currently winning it, to win a couple of grand final tickets. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yes, and you're going pretty well too. You're right up there, yeah. I guess it took a bit of convincing for everyone to say, get your own website going. Basically, just wanted to bring everything together that I'm doing, so all the charity stuff, some of the leading locals draft camps we're doing, and also just gone out there and got a heap of different people, just people out there who love flowing footy, and got them doing a lot of writing on the website. So guys who are challenging Yaka with some of the stuff they're throwing out there, and it's been very popular so far with the people
I'm yet to know
out
about
there,
these people. Where are these people? Challenge me, I'm ready.
And
send them onto my website.
Exactly, I will. And then the Dream Team stuff as well. So as you know, I'm a big Dream Teamer and love it. So someone's going to win some Dream Team, some grand final tickets.
Yep, so they are real.
And then you can on-sell them if you'd like. The grand final tickets. Not to your family though. They're too tight assy. Get your mates. They're much better.
Maxi, you've held the Premiership Cup aloft. Obviously, a highlight in your career. If you won Dream Team, would it be better than winning the flag?
Well, the thing is, I've won a couple of Dream Teams competitions.
What about overall number one man in the country?
It's just something you can only dream of, isn't it? Yeah.
The Premierships come and go.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's something that's just always up there, and it's like you never get there. So, I mean, I keep hoping, but as you said, there's 2,200 in front of me at the moment. So
you haven't got enough time for that.
It's not going to happen this year, but look, maybe I can get the Premiership Cup instead. Just a nice second prize, I guess.
You got something for us to go out on, Calvin? Just a curly one for the Collingwood skipper?
Look, mate, I'm over the moon that Swanee is a passionate Dream Teamer. Like, that just makes my little heart flutter. Like, he's a go-to captain, mate. Do you ever say anything before the game, sort of rev him up as you go?
I just say, mate, remember that we're out here to win a game of football, not just to win Dream Team. He takes it so seriously, Swan. He loves his Dream Team, and he knows exactly what points he's had before he even checks his phone.
Obviously a lot cleverer than he looks, Dane Swan. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the Collingwood captain. He's the star of the Toyota AFL Dream Team. He's the captain of the Premiership team, Nick Maxwell, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we've got some big guests on this show, none bigger than Miranda. She's going to run us through her Hall of Fame Dream Team this week.
This week we welcome a superstar of the game who is no stranger to the Dream Team Hall of Fame with 37 disposals, 23 kicks, 14 handballs, 3 goals and 5 marks, totalling 176 Dream Team points against Port Adelaide. Welcome to the number 2 position overall for 2011, Dane Swan.
Obviously, it's an absolute honour to be here at the moment. I am with the Dream Team King, the best of all time, Dane Swan. Dane, welcome to the show, mate.
Thanks for having me, mate.
It's an absolute pleasure. Now, Swanee, tonight, I just checked the scores. You've knocked up a 140 in Dream Team. You've knocked up Sorry about that. See, that's the kind of man I'm dealing with here. He apologises for 140s when other people are just dreaming of such a score. SuperCoach, you did a lazy 150.
Yeah, it's disappointing too, isn't it?
At the end of the second quarter there, you were sitting on, about 50, and after 3 minutes, you went up 30 points. How can you describe that, mate? What did you do? It was just magical.
Yeah, well, the runner came out and said your Dream Team points were pretty low for you, and you needed to lift your game, so I thought I'd try and go back and get some cheap Dream Team points. So I ran down to fullback and try to get a few cheap switch plays, and thankfully no one came near me, so I was lucky enough to rack a couple up.
Did you have yourself captain?
No. It's the first year I've ever put myself in. I put myself in after I come back from Arizona because I hadn't had a kick for about 6 weeks, and I was pretty cheap, so I thought, bugger it, I'll put some more pressure on myself and I'll try and get a kick. So if you see me being selfish out there, mate, you know why.
Cheers, Swanee. Really appreciate your time, mate. It's a stage here for me just to thank you, not only on behalf of Destroy, but all the fan show fans out there that just lock you in as captain every week, mate. This is just basically on behalf of the nation. Thank you so much.
No worries, mate. I'll see what I can do for you in the finals in the next couple of weeks, mate.
No chance of a rest?
Mate, it's too many Dream Teams counting on me, buddy, so there's no way.
Cheers, brother.
Well, we take you right to the superstars. Beautifully done, Roy. A man who has got Dane Swan and his team is our winner this week for the round in the Toyota AFL Dream Team. His name is Ronnie Shell. He's a good-looking young rooster. We welcome him to the Fan Show.
Thanks for having me here, boys.
Team name and score this week?
BRC's galore, and I scored 2,467.
What does BRC actually stand for?
You know, it was something that I came up with early in the year. It's probably not relevant anymore.
Oh, what?
Or appropriate from what I can gather.
Yeah.
Where are you overall in the league?
I'm actually coming first in the country.
Bloody
Ron, listen, at the start of the year, I tried to set my team up. I looked at my backs, I looked at my rucks. Didn't work out that well for me. What strategy did you go with?
Look, this year I took, approach. I wanted to get some really durable players in my team, so get rid of Higgins,
Yeah, exactly. Great job.
And as well, I think you want to avoid players who have off-field issues. So, your Didaks, your Shaws, and in the past, your Ackermanis.
Could have got sacked at any moment.
Yeah. So you avoid those guys, you get durable guys, and then, you just start from there, really.
So you're at home, you get a lot of time, you do your dream team. Why aren't you watching like every other young man porn and shit like that?
There's plenty of hours in the day.
You have a full-time job?
I do. I work full-time. I'm a marketing assistant. I work about 40 hours a week.
And how much time do you spend on your dream team?
Out of the 40, maybe 38, 39 on a good week.
Now, mate, how is it affecting you socially? Not only with your mates, but the ladies, stuff like that?
The pressure.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not much fun to be around up until about 10:30 on a Saturday night when all the games are over. And then after
Sunday night, you're done.
Yeah, I mean, when
Saturday.
the games are on, just don't talk to me.
Give yourself a break. Give yourself a break.
When I'm out, I've tried to sort of use. I've been #1 for a while now. I try to use it to my advantage, and
doesn't work.
The girls don't want a piece of me.
So you're going in. I'm leading the dream team. I'm Ron. Would you like to go home with me?
And it's just not working.
Surprises there.
It's probably not working yet, but you win the whole thing, mate.
Yeah, when I can pick them up in that car.
In that car, exactly.
They'll listen to anything I've got to say.
How are you actually? Are you enjoying it, or because you're at the top of the tree, everyone's chasing you? Are you under pressure, aren't you, Ron?
Look, I haven't enjoyed footy for the past 8 weeks.
Well, how do you watch your game? Are you you're updating? What are you doing?
If I'm not at home I'll watch it live, and you got to leave me alone.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm out for lunch or dinner, I've got the phone next to me, just clicking that refresh.
Sleeping well?
I can't sleep. I don't enjoy watching Essendon anymore that much. I used to love the Bombers. It's not good.
When you dream about all that other stuff, your paint job and then a bit of porn and stuff. Do you dream about when you wake up? You go, Jesus Christ, I need to trade that guy.
Yeah.
Do you ever think like that? Because I find some freaky dreams happen like that with me.
Yeah, I just have dreams of just me sitting in front of the computer, really boring dreams, and I just make the wrong trade, or
you hit the wrong button,
and I just wake up
the wrong site.
I just wake up uninspired because
last week, Ronnie, you're an Essendon man. Have you got Adam Goods in your team?
I do have Goodsy.
Were you cheering for him to kick the goal to beat your football team?
Look, I wasn't. He was already on 130.
Oh,
he'd done his job.
That's right.
But I thought he'd kick it, and I would have been disappointed, but maybe an hour or so later, I'll take the extra, 9 points?
Right, mate, I can understand. You must be under some intense pressure. Yeah. At this stage, what are you going to do to take it out? What's your plans?
Are you going to trade it all? Have you got any trades left, perhaps?
I've got, just some trades.
Cagey.
And how are the buys treating you?
Not that well.
Yeah.
But, I'll just, stick to what I know, which has got me this far, I guess, and I've been thinking all these scenarios of how to legally affect the scores of players I don't have. And there's not many. They're mostly illegal. So we'll see how I can go, keeping within the laws of the country to take it out.
Just a random stabbing or something
This is why, kids, you want to be involved in fantasy football so you can turn into a freak like our boy Ron Acker. Have you got something for our man? Look at him. He's on edge. He's sweating at the palms. He's checking his phone.
You've had a great day, and there are some dizzying heights in this particular show, but this is none better. I've got an award for you. Congratulations. It's actually the Lee Matthews Award. It's got a mustache. The great news is it doesn't have as bad breath as Lee or anything like that, and it's got more hair. So congratulations.
Good luck with the rest of the season, Ronnie.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for having me.
Well, he was absolutely fantastic, Ronnie was. It's now time to cross continents, to go back in time as we have a chat for some unknown reason, we'll soon find out why, to the Irish Pirates.
Ahoy, me mateys! Welcome to Irish Pirates' top 5 Dream Team picks for this week. Rounding out my captaincy crew, I have Tommy Rock, Nicky Dow, and Scurvy Selwood. But it's Scott Pendlebury who must be on your radar this week, as he had 129 last time he played the Saints. But shiver me timbers! It's Dane Swan who gets my number 1. He had 151 and 170 in his last 2 games this year. And Scallywag Swan should be awesome again. So there we are. That's my... Hey! Get out! Sorry, I gotta go. There's some semen in my bed. Get out of there, you semen!
Well, the Irish Pirate. Don't know if you realise this is a family show. What do you think of him, Calvin?
What can you say, mate? He's a good-looking bloke. That's about it, I reckon. So.
Yeah, not sure he'll be back next week. One girl that will be, she does a great job. Miranda, you're up in the crowd. You've got some fan show people up there.
Yes, I am, Howie. I'm standing here with Judd. Judd, is that your first name?
Yes, it is.
Is your surname Chris?
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Just
Judd. Just Judd. Good footy name. Now, I believe you have a question for Calvin.
Yeah, I know the Irish Pirate didn't mention him, but I was just wondering whether Buddy against Port Adelaide's a good captain option this week.
Well, I personally think that I'm going to go with Cyril, but let's see what Calvin has to say.
Miranda, that's a bit risky, I reckon. Anyway, look, the Pirate knows his stuff, so you'd be a pretty brave man to doubt the Pirate. But, geez, you'd think Buddy should be pretty good against Port, so I'm going to stick with the Pirate and say no, but, mate, you know, it's up to you.
Ashley, just make sure you follow your first thought. Whatever that was.
That was worth chipping in with, Akka. Miranda, have you got something else up there for us?
We do. Next up, we've got Ronnie.
Well, big Ronald.
Ronnie's
making an appearance.
Ronnie is making an appearance. Ronnie, what was your question?
I got a question for Ron, because he's the man in the know, apparently. Geelong have the bye next week. Paul Chappie or Steve Johnson? Who do I offload, mate?
Well, that sounds like an excellent problem to have. What do you think, Ron?
It's a tough one. Personal bias. I don't like Stevie J. I don't have him.
Does that kill you? Does that kill you that you don't have him?
Last 4 weeks, it's just really hurt. He just loves the crap teams. But putting that aside, I'd honestly probably get rid of Chapman.
Never trust a man with hair.
Yeah, he's always had injury worries in the past, and he still hasn't had his rest this year. He's always got sore groins, hammies, so I think they'll give him a rest. I'd trade Chappie.
Yeah, good call, mate.
There you go,
Thanks,
Ronnie.
mate.
Beautiful.
Thanks,
Now,
mate.
Ronnie, you've been exceptional, mate. The whole of us here at the Fan Show, we hope you take it out and you come pick us up and take us for a drive in that FJ Cruiser, don't we, boys?
Yeah, we certainly do. I am now no chance to win the car. Now, I've met the great man. His head switched on. Yeah, I'm out. I'm out of the game.
At least you won something if you don't get the car.
There you go, Ronnie. Well done, mate.
Thanks for having me, boys.
Best of luck. Fantastic to have Ronnie on the show. Now, the only one responsible enough to really go and find out the inside words from our schools is a man that's been fully checked by the police. His name is Calvin. We sent him out to Brighton Grammar.
Rightio, I'm out here with young Andrew at Brighton Secondary College. He's actually leading the school's Dream Team comp in Victoria. Andrew, welcome, buddy.
Thank you.
And now listen, what's the secret to your success so far this year?
Guess a bit of research pre-season.
Excellent. Any great players you've picked up?
Probably Broughton was a good one to keep.
Excellent. He's obviously firing now. Look, if you're like me, which you're not, because your team's obviously good, are there any decisions that you'd probably regret?
Probably trading at Heppel for Hargrave.
Yeah, and who'd you get in then?
I traded in Gilbert.
Yeah, that didn't work out too well, did it?
Well, I'm top of the Victoria, so how are you going?
Yeah. Now, obviously, you've got a lot of mates here for you. They give us away, boys. Look at them at the back. Now, has your DT rise to fame increased your popularity amongst your mates?
I guess I can say I'm actually... Yeah. Yeah, that's about it.
Doesn't look like it has. Now, and what about with the girls? Getting a bit of extra loving around the school these days because you're a bit of a celebrity in the DT world?
I don't think they even know what Dream Team is.
Fellas, is he going all right with the ladies? What's going on there?
Oh, he's always in his room. You think he's on Dream Team, but he could be on someone else. We don't know.
Now, I was speaking to your principal earlier, mate, and she's actually spent the money that you're going to win from this. So do you actually feel a little bit of added pressure from the school and the state?
I guess so. Guess the school can get any help they can get is good.
Did you get harassed by any of the teachers for extra tips?
No, not yet.
Yeah? And do you ever get in trouble during class for maybe being on your dream team when you should be working?
No, I haven't been spotted yet.
Good student. He actually does the right thing. Out of all the guys at the back there, which one's your biggest rival?
Probably just Kremer.
And why's that?
Could he copies Mitch's team?
And why is Mitch's team so good?
Could he copies my team?
And just before we go, this week you're obviously representing Victoria, the Big V, Teddy Whitten, all of the great players. Have you got any words for your rivals this week?
I guess just watch out because Victoria's where it's at.
That's fighting words, I tell you what. Big weekend ahead. Let's find out how these guys have gone with their trades and their captains.
I'm training Gilbert for Fisher and going to bring in Swanee for captain.
Yeah, no trades left, so no trades and captain for Swanee.
No trades for me, so I'll just get Boydie captain.
Out Zach Smith and in Matty Lundberger, and you can't look past Swanee for captain.
No trades for me this week, but I'll go Penry for captain.
Yeah, I got Gilbert out and I'll bring O'Keefe in. He's in good form, and then I'll probably go Pendle's captain. Good form.
Nice. A lot of these guys obviously don't have any trades left, and obviously listen to the Pirate. Swanee's man.
Jeez, parking's a bitch. Tell me about it.
You guys drive like a pair of old women. Let's roll.
We're down at Fantasy Headquarters at Vapor Media, and we're going to check out some of the ins and the outs of what Dream Team and SuperCoach is all about. Now, boys, while I distract them, you go and find where they're hiding the trades.
Gotcha.
I'm here at Vapor Media with Peter, who is the head honcho of Dream Team and SuperCoach. Peter, how long has Dream Team and SuperCoach been going on for?
Well, we've been going for about 10 years now. We're just into our 10th season with Dream Team. SuperCoach has been going for the last 5, so yeah.
Excellent. Now, I've been playing pretty much from the start, and I've been quite addicted to it. How have the numbers changed over the years?
Oh, massively. Look, we started with about 38,000 back in 2002. This year we're just about 1.2 million, about 700,000 of those purely AFL.
As the big dog down here, surely you're going pretty well. How are you ranked this year?
Yeah, going pretty well actually. Around the 4,000 mark in Dream Team. Not quite as good in SuperCoach, but still up there. So yeah, pretty happy with it.
Now, I was wondering who might have been the first person to register this year.
Yeah, funny you asked that. Apparently it was you. We're not entirely sure how that happened and how you actually managed to get in before we did, but apparently you did, so yeah.
It's a shame my ID is number 1. I wish I was ranked that highly. So who's the best player out of all the guys down here?
Oh, definitely myself.
I'm sure that this year has been one of the most challenging years. Next year, what changes can we see?
Well, thankfully we're not going to have the buys next year, so we'll be back to the nice old system that we're all familiar with. There'll be a few new things. There's a pretty significant sort of interface update, so the games will look a little bit different. Possibility of having double trades. A bit of a rework on the whole trading system and player selections. A few other things that we'll keep to ourselves for the moment.
I've got 4 trades left. I'd like about 8 for the finals. How much would that be worth to me?
Would you like a couple of mine? Or?
Well, I would love any that I can take. I've got to try to get a big win.
No, I think, 4 is 4 basically, and you're stuck with it. So.
Oh well, I'm sure that the dollars might start talking.
Thanks, Pete. No worries, guys.
Cheers, mate. Good luck.
See you later. Thank you very much.
See you later.
Very much. Brad Pitt, Harrison Ford and Robert De Niro for their help in that production. That was acting 101, boys. That was some of the worst television I've ever been involved with. Acker, let's go to the team in focus, which is the Hawks.
Oh, boys. I know.
Acker the Hawks, your team in
Jeez,
focus.
You look rusty like a gate, but you boys, I got to tell you, if you want a team in focus, you can't go past Hawthorn. Now, you look at the graphic, you look at the names up there. I mean, they're great names. They know they can play. Certainly top 2, Franklin and Rioli. They're going to kick lots of scores. Suckling, what a surprise he's been. The thing I like about Suckling is he kicks it to himself in the back line, out of the full-back spot, so he'll get some, there's 5 or 6 kicks a week, so he's guaranteed that stuff. And then, of course, Sam Mitchell. And Sam Mitchell, if he's not the most consistent guy in this comp, I don't know who he is. He's great left and right foot. As long as he's not injured, he is a wonderful player. Now, if you actually look at their run home, it is not is basically rubbish. They can get, all those boys are going to get heaps of points. In fact, most of them will. They are playing against junk sides that you don't have to worry about. Port Adelaide, oh God, they are not only, the boys said witches hats, that is overstating them. Carlton at home will be their only tough round of the 4. Then you've got the Bulldogs, don't worry about them, they've given up, they've lost all their defenders, there'll be lots and lots of goals on offer, and Gold Coast. They're coming last, they might be up for the last round because, you know, they actually get a holiday, they'll be wrapped, the boys, but don't worry, they've got the easiest run home. Get the guys in the Hawks.
And that's really important there in that grand final game being against Gold Coast. Big numbers, I reckon, from those boys. I think we'll be expecting some big things.
Well, as Zach has already said, they're probably not going to rest in that game being 1 week out. Now, Akka, just one back at you there, mate. High possession. The Hawks at the moment, what's going on there, you reckon?
Well, they're sharing it because they can. The pressure on the opposition isn't so great. They are very much falling over. The young sides, Witches hats, Port Adelaide, you name them, Bulldogs are the same. They're not going to get the forward press going because they can't. They're out of gas. They're out for the season. So don't even worry about it. Once you're in the bottom, mate, you don't care. You want to play as far down as you can. They're looking at holidays. They're looking at everything else but playing good footy.
High possession and high efficiency. You blokes talk about suckling. These boys that chip it round the back line, they're getting 30 touches going at 90%, Roy Boyd.
Yeah, definitely. It's almost worth looking ahead to your grand final, isn't it? And if you're 50-50 who to bring in, that potential grand final captaincy alone, bang, I reckon that wins it for the Hawks.
One Hawthorn player to bring in, if you can.
Luke Hodge, I think, is going to be a bit of a smoky there. He's got a pretty good run home at the moment, like with the games that he plays against these teams.
Calvin?
I reckon there's a few guys in most people's teams at the moment, like Dygan in your back line, those types of guys that can easily be upgraded to a Suckling or a Birchall.
Liam Shields, my boy, I've already talked about him. I'll just keep whipping that one. Shieldsy, yeah, he's my man crush this week.
All right, the boys said get on the Hawks. Acker's delivered us the full oil there, but for the real stats that matter, from champion data, these numbers don't lie. It's time to go to the lovely Miranda.
With a big focus on fantasy finals time, the champion data team have outdone themselves with a goodie bag of facts to help you with your team. Firstly, we look at the teams who have traditionally had the best averages over recent years. In Dream Team, the Saints top the list with 1809, followed by the Cats with 1786, then the Pies with 1792. In SuperCoach, the Swans take top honours with 1891, then the Saints with 1854 and Collingwood once again with 1828. Teams who have had the worst averages over recent years in Dream Team finals include the Bombers, Tigers and Power. In SuperCoach, the Bombers feature once again with the Dockers and Bulldogs, so be sure to consider this when trading. The best individual averages in Dream Team in the run home belong to Dane Swan with 120, Brendan Goddard with 119 and Gary Ablett with 118. The best individual averages in SuperCoach in the run home belong to Kieran Jack with 147, Gary Ablett on 134 together with Corey Enright also on 134 and Brendan Goddard with 133. With all the talk around coaches resting players in the fantasy finals, we have compiled a list of the big names that are often rested during fantasy grand final week. Alan Didak, Corey Enright, Joel Selwood, Grant Birchall and Luke Hodge top the list. So be sure to cast a careful eye over these players come finals because the stats don't lie. Warning.
Thanks there, Miranda. Now, we've got quite a few questions off the interwebs, so off our Twitter, all over the place. First one we've got from Monty. He wants to know who should he pick up this week? Should it be Birchall or Fisher? Well, after what Miranda said there, I'm a little bit worried about Birch.
They won't rest Birchall.
They won't rest Birchall. So Birch is probably your man, especially for that grand final spot, I reckon. So there's one. All right, next one comes from our website. We've got Gruggery, who wants to know, he's got doubt on Cox and Smith. Should he be putting 2 emergencies in his ruck line? This is an interesting question because there is a bit of a rule about this, isn't there, Roy?
Yeah, I've heard people ask this a lot of times. If you put 2 emergencies on your bench, you get the lowest scoring one. So whichever one you're more confident with, back them in. But yeah, don't click those 2 emergencies, just the one there.
And from our Facebook, we've got Jamie Rusin, who wants to know, who should he field, Puopolo or Lower? Calvin.
Bit of a no-brainer, I reckon. You'd go Puopolo. He obviously plays Port. Lower plays Carlton, who are usually a team that restricts the points. So
if you cannot pronounce Puopolo, don't put him in.
Piop.
You'll be forever talking about the pub. You'll be spitting on people. You'll be drinking. Puopolo, Jesus. Just go with Lower.
That's why we got Jason Ackermanis on this show for insights like that on the Fan Show. All right, well done there, Warren Dog. It is now time. We like to involve the fans in this show, and the boys caught up with a few fans after the Friday night game, before the Friday night game, during the Friday night game. This is the Coach's Box.
Welcome to the Fan Show Coaches Box, where it's all about you. We're outside AFL House. We're about to head up to Etihad, where St Kilda and Collingwood are going to kick off the DT SuperCoach Final Series.
We're going to find out from the fans who it is that they are bringing into their team for the finals and also who they're making their captain. Right, round 21 captain, who have we got?
Got to go with Swanee. Can't go past the Mad Irish Pirate.
Brilliant. Trades for this week?
No trades this week. Unfortunately, I'm only down to the 2. So, yeah, burned too many bad picks like Connors early on, Jack Grimes, who went down with injury. Just no chances from there.
And are you in the top 4 of your finals?
I am in a few, but not my work league, and that's the one that's killing me. Got to be in the work league top 8, but no, I missed out on percentage, which killed me.
G'day, mate. What's your name, team name, and what competition are you in?
My name's Adam. My team's the Absy Saints, and I'm in the Collingwood Football League.
Nice work, mate. Now, who have you made captain for tonight's big finals match?
I've gone against Saints, and I've picked Pendles as my captain.
I like that move. Pendles, I reckon he'll smash it tonight. Now, have you made any big trades?
Yeah, we had to make a couple, thanks to the buy from North. I had to get rid of Petrie and bring in Big Mummy from Sydney.
That's a bloody good move, bringing in the Mummy. Good luck with it, mate.
Rightio, big week this week. Who's our captain?
Swan.
Swan, easy. And trades for these finals?
Zero trades the last 3 weeks. So fingers crossed, and I finished 5th. So I need the win.
Right at home, baby. Right at home.
That's it.
Okay, I'm here with Joel. Joel, who'd you make captain tonight?
Well, I've brought in Gary Ablett this week, and he's my captain. I trust him against the Brisbane Lions. Probably set for a big one.
You're bringing him in off injury and making him captain?
Oh, yeah, I trust him. Great player.
Now, Brendan, any trades this week?
Couple of trades, got a few people in. Got Clokey in actually this week. I want a few goals from him, so looking forward to a big match tonight.
And last question, mate. Captain this week, who are you going with?
Dalsano.
Why would you go Dalsano?
I'm only joking. Swanee.
Yes!
Captains for this week.
Stevie J.
Oh, very interesting one. And you're going to go?
Swanee.
Oh, Swanee, very good call.
How's your trades going, mate?
Yeah, I got one left. Got Juddy captain this week. Had Cox last week. That was no good.
Yep.
Injured, but yeah, hopefully in the first final. So finals Supercoach this week. So
excellent, mate. Good luck with it. I reckon you're a sure thing to win this week.
Yeah, hopefully, Juddy. Big, 160.
Okay, the girls are pretty nervous here. It's a big dream team final tonight. Girls, who are you going captain?
Nice one. Nick Revolt. Nick Revolt. Brendan Goddard.
They know what they're on about. I think they're in for some success.
Who are we getting in and who's our captain?
Well, I didn't do any trades this week. I decided to save them for finals because I'm pretty confident this week because I got a bad play, finished 8th. So, and I've made captain. I made captain Dane Swan because he's a legend.
No trades, just Cox is captain this week.
Surely captain Ablett. Ablett's got to be captain, hasn't he? Gary Ablett. He is a superstar. He is the man. He's come from Geelong. He's gone to Gold Coast. Where else do you want to go? There's no else you want to go to Australia. Ablett's captain.
Rightio, here with Cody. Cody, who's your captain this week?
Sam Mitchell.
Now, Cody, didn't I meet you at the airport earlier, and what did I say?
Scott Penderbury's captain.
And what have you done?
Put Sam Mitchell.
Why would you do that?
Because Sam Mitchell's better.
Okay.
Who's your captain this week?
Pendlebury.
Pendlebury. Hope he doesn't get a green vest like yours, although you look very good in green. Nice work.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the Fan Show. This is the show all about you, so I want you to get involved. Jump on the website www.thefanshow.com.au. You can send us your emails, your texts, the tweets, the works. We want you to be involved. Now, though, it is time for, thanks to the TAC and the Herald Sun, the SuperCoach. I'll tell you, boys, my team this week, let me just tell you, 2,479 points. Chris Judd, 163, was my skipper. I love you, Juddy. There's one man that needs to give me more, though. Scotty Thompson from Adelaide. They've changed the coach. This bloke's a ball magnet. He should be getting 120, 80.
It's what happens. What happens when a new coach comes in is very frustrating because all those other guys who have just been getting carried all year, all of a sudden start to play well. The finish line's there again. Oh, wow, look at me, coach. Give me a spot. What a load of rubbish. It's killing you. Get Scotty Thompson out.
Scotty Thompson gone. Roy, you've got similar issues.
Yeah, no, well, my boys are actually going all right. I pushed out 2,500 this week, so I'm not going to get on anyone's back.
I pushed out 2,500 this week.
Points, I hope.
2,500 points, Acker, yes, well done, mate. Pendlebury, I'm loving Pendlebury at the moment. He just keeps getting me over the line week after week.
ACCA?
Oh, don't get me started. 2086. I tell you what.
2086?
The GDR Tokyo team is... These cylinders are blown up. I'm losing head gaskets everywhere. I've got a couple of dribblers. I may have made the mistake of having the team that was having a bye. I may have left him in there, but that's another story. Forgetting my dribblers and my captain. Well, my captain's been quite good, but I've been moving around. I think I may have had Coxie again. Coxie, big Cox, please, give me something. Just give me something. Don't go on the goal square. Say, I'm not playing if I can't get up on the ball. And that would help me. Thanks, mate.
Calvinator, can you match the ACCA show?
Well, I can never match his dribbling show, but best thing about that, he actually tells the truth about your score, mate, unlike those two clowns over there. Talk about exaggeration.
Mayonnaise.
Yeah, anyway, I scored about 2,300. Yeah, I'm with you, Howie. Judd for me, huge, great score as captain, but he secured me a top 8 finish, which is sweet.
He's a star, Juddy, and he is a star, Juddy.
Love him. And I've only got one trade left though, so I'll put that in my back pocket and see how things go home for me.
The Warn Dog?
Well, the Warn Dogs are actually pretty happy down at Warn Dog Park at the moment. We've got ourselves a top 4 spot in all our leagues, you know, ready for that double chance, and yeah, pushed out a nice 24-12 it was, so solid enough.
Is there one bloke that you think time to go Scotty Thompson style?
Time to go, well, I'm actually, thinking about Drew Petrie with the bye this week. Oh, he might be the man to lead.
Get back on the
Team Warn Dogs.
Get back on the diary.
Had the season of his career, the Warn Dog, he treats them hard, he treats them tough, and that is why this week we sent him down to the Herald Sun to get the full inside word on their SuperCoach team.
Right, welcome to this week's Your League. What better place for us to start than at the Herald Sun with some of the boys involved in the massive, massive league that they have going on. Firstly, let's welcome James Seymour, who is the Commercial Manager of Sport at the Herald Sun, along with Alan Garbio and Nathan Grimes. Big week this week because it is the first week of the finals. So, how are we looking ahead of this round?
I've tumbled down to the 3rd position, so... really happy with a double chance, but would have been bragging rights to finish on top like Grimey did over here. Would have been nice to have.
Now, who is the biggest talker during the week?
Talked a big game at the start of the year. His name was John Papulius, and he talked a really big game at the start of the year, and he's right into his draft. He loves his draft, watches the junior blokes, and the blokes coming through really heavily, but he's hopeless.
So who would we say is the favourite to win the big office league here?
Well, runs on the board. I've won the last 2 years in a row, so three-peat Brisbane Lions style will be the way to go.
Who are our captains for this week, and what trades are we looking at?
I feel as though I owe Chris Judd and I owe Sportsbet. I backed Juddy at backed Juddy to win the Brownlow medal at nines at $200 at nines, and Sportsbet have already paid out. So I owe Juddy, so I'll put Juddy in as captain this week.
My team's pretty set. I'm pretty confident. I'm going to take it out from 5th position this year, and I've only got one trade left. And you know what? I'm going to hold on to. Yeah, I've only got one. No way, mate. I'm super set.
I've had Swanee pretty much every week, bar when he was injured, so I'll stick with him. I've made one trade this week. I traded Otten in the back line, a bit of a strategic move to free up some cash. I call it a bit of a cash dump. So I get the cash in. I traded him from the guy from Port Adelaide who's starting on the halfback flank.
What's his name?
I can't remember.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Any last final words to say to your boys?
Yeah, well, I'm very happy with the way SuperCoach has gone. We're going to tick over to 400,000 players this week. I'm very disappointed in Grimer because he plays both of them. So Grimey, that's no good, mate. We'll get rid of the dream team because it's a lot easier to win a competition that's got 110,000 less in it, mate. So stick with the strength and go with SuperCoach.
What Warnie, some very sharp work, and you can easily see why those boys work for the Herald Sun in media because they don't have their heads for television. There's no doubt about that. A bloke that does, though, he's a superstar. The ladies queue up down at Arden Street to get involved with this man. He loves his dream team and his SuperCoach. It's not Jason Ackermanis. Put your hands together for Nathan Grimer, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Nate, don't worry about how the Kangaroos are going on the field. Tell us the name of your team and how'd you go last week?
Yeah, no, I've been doing my SuperCoach now for 3 or 4 years. My team, Mop and Bucket, total points overall in our league, in the Arden Street league, but unfortunately, finished 9th. So.
Is it mandatory down there though? You've got to have Brent Harvey because he seems very angry most of the time. But it would be awful to have a captain and say, "Why the hell am I not in your team?"
Yeah, no, most of the boys have Boomer in because he can obviously go midfield and forward, but he does have a few quiet games. But the good thing with Boom, if he does have a quiet one, get on him for the skipper the next week.
Do you ever
back.
Do you ever go, oh, geez, I just gave him a couple of handballs and this will be good? Do you ever think like that when you're on the field? There you go, Birmingham, take another couple of cheabies.
The way I've gone this year, I can't even get a kick. So
now, Nani, you said that you finished on top of total points, and then you've been one of those massive hard luck stories which we hear all about all the time. You've missed the finals. Who's got your spot in there that you want to give a bit of a go at?
Yeah, I'm a bit flat. I was in the top 1,000 of the country for most of the year. So Daniel Pratt, he was in the bottom 3 or 4 for total points, but somehow he just scummed his way in there. So
which players let you down, mate? Out them and shame them. Which players have cost you a spot in the finals?
I had myself in there. No. Next year cheap though. No, I had Paul Duffield. He's been one that.
He's been a sub for a couple of weeks. He killed my team as well. Thanks, Paul.
But I lost about 3 or 4 games by less than 10 points. So they're the ones that hurt. So
unlucky.
Now, Nani, last year you were a SuperCoach specialist. You averaged over 90 points. What advice can you give people that are struggling, players?
If you're in the back line, probably just get on the boundary for the cheap switch.
Or try and get loose man in the back line. That's a great
exactly, but they're closing down the switch kick now, so I've run out of ideas. So a big pre-season, but no, obviously
go forward. Go
forward. Well, kicking efficiency is a big one. So kick the short one all the time.
Or
over 40 metres. Over 40 metres.
There's been injury concerns about Drew Petrie. He's had a fantastic year. For all the people out there unsure, are his feet all right? Is he going to play throughout the rest of the year, Drew Petrie?
Yeah, Drew he's flying. He's I played on him yesterday in some match play and he was going pretty well then. So.
The big diss.
He's flying, a big fella. So no, keep on him, and I'm sure he's going to have a big game this week.
He runs like a big pigeon. Have you noticed that? Is there something wrong with his back? He seems to always have his chest out.
He's got a big chest, yeah.
He just runs. How do you run like that? I don't know. But he's a great player.
Andrew Swallow. He's a bloke, boys. He's been just either of the Swallow brothers.
He racks them.
Yeah, his cousin Spitz is no good. But anyway, if you got one player you wish you had in, one player you go, man, that Collingwood player or that West Coast player, God, they're flying.
No, I thought about getting Matty Pritis earlier in the year, and I reckon he's one that would have been nice. I went for Scotty Thompson at Adelaide over him, and he's brilliant at the dream team, but sometimes, gets 35, 40 touches and gets under 100 points. So
now, Nani, your league's obviously really competitive because you guys have got good history in it. You've finished really well a couple of times. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, we take our league pretty serious. Actually, Dave Hale. He's on top, so he's stayed involved with the league. So he's
even though that he's left to go to Hawthorn.
He stayed on top. He hasn't got much on top. That's great.
No, he's we stuck by Big Haley. He's a good bloke, but who else has gone well in that? Aaron Edwards takes it really serious, and he's up there. I live with Hamish McIntosh, and him and I spend a fair bit of time on 2 series.
So do you help each other with that, or is it massively battles? Do you have a crack?
Yeah, I trade aggressively early in the week, and sometimes it haunts me. But it's the biggest secret. No one wants to talk about how many trades they have left. But
I got 10.
Yeah, I got.
So bad I'm going.
If there's 4 weeks left. Can you tell us as we look on to next year, and it's all about planning in this caper, as you boys know. Is there one young bloke at the Kangaroos that you've got on the list that's going to come in cheap next year that we should be jumping on?
Well, I'll be cheap next year. So.
A young bloke, an unseen bloke.
I'm only in about 3,000 teams. So. But no, Aaron Mullett is actually on our rookie list, and he's been absolutely playing brilliant footy at North Ballarat, high possession winner and a good user. So, bit of luck. He can come in next year, and I reckon he could be one that could get some good scores.
Write that one down then, I reckon.
Yeah.
All right, we've got the word from Nathan Grimer. Aaron Mullett.
Yeah, Fishy Mullett.
The old fish. Get on board. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together from a star of the Kangaroos Football Club. He's a star, Nathan Grimer. All right, Nate, thanks for joining us. Now time to go and have a chat with Miranda as she talks Hall of Fame.
This week, a new inductee to the SuperCoach Hall of Fame with 29 disposals, 22 kicks, 7 handballs, 8 marks, with a 90% efficiency rating, totalling 188 SuperCoach points against Hawthorn. Welcome to the number 5 position overall for 2011, Scott McMahon.
Beautifully done, Miranda. Scotty McNard from the Kangaroos, right? How many people Australia-wide had him in their team?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's only 1%, and they were all autofills too. So, Scotty McMahon, yeah, not a popular
his
pick.
family, that's
A bloke that didn't have him in the team, though, is our winner this week in the TAC Herald Sun Supercoach team. This bloke is a star. His name is Damien Park. And I just say to you a couple of figures, 2,708 points. Put your hands together for the number one man in the country this year, Damo. Mate, who was your number one man? What got you across the line this week?
Cyril.
Cyril.
Massive score from my man Delicious.
Oh, he has been delicious, mate. How long have you been involved in this this caper?
Oh, I probably started 2006.
Right.
2006. Yeah.
And what's been your best performance so far?
2008. I won the whole thing.
You won the whole show.
Yes.
Oh,
up on the back.
What was the
unbelievable?
What was the prize for that?
It's 25 grand back then. They unfortunately doubled it since then.
And who was your top three players back in the 2008 season?
Oh, I've got not you, Aka. No, I put my faith in the Saints that year, and Goddard, Hayes, and Rewalt got me home in the last round when they spanked the Bombers.
That would have been quite stressful, I reckon, watching that over that weekend. The scores. How did you?
I got out on the golf course and tried to get away from it, and had my worst round ever.
Well, 25 grand. That's not everyday chump change. Not for everyone, of course, but
money for
some. What'd you do? You and the wife? Did you actually go somewhere? You go
well, we got married. Went to Fiji.
Oh, that's it.
Brilliant.
Wow.
Nice guy.
That's a great thing about Fantasy 40. You can help you get married. I'm pretty sure you'll give it all back later, but don't worry about it.
That's it.
And what's been the key this year, mate? You're performing very well. You're 11th overall. You've won this week. Who are your men that you just absolute lock-ins you got to pick every week?
Oh, you just bank in the big boys, Swanee and Pendles. Cyril, Buddy.
Cyril. So, so you're sitting at work. What do you do for work?
Insurance.
Okay,
Very
so once you
exciting.
finish ripping everyone off, you go, oh, geez, I've got maybe a cat. It probably takes an hour to rip everyone off, so you got another 7. So do you sit there and just go? Do you look at these guys' websites? Where do you go to find your information you need?
Oh, always on the Herald Sun. Get straight onto that.
That's your best tip.
Best tip, Herald Sun. There's a few
not,
other.
Not an underground area somewhere.
Oh, there's a few other websites. I think there's Dream Team Talk. I believe that's one of the great websites.
Don't pump up too much. But yes, they've been great.
And they're the two key resources for me.
Oh, they're very exciting.
Now, mate, you've been there and done that. What's your strategy going to be to take this thing out?
Well, I've got to deal with a Carlton buy in a couple of weeks, so I've saved a couple of trades to deal with Gibbs and Scotland.
Clever.
Very clever.
You can't buy that experience.
No, experience.
So one of those blokes is going to get the chop, probably for Bock. And a little bit of extra money will go and upgrade the poo-poo.
There's no need
to Why Bock? Why is Nathan Bock coming in your team?
No need to swear.
Scores well.
Does he?
Just, yeah, he's going well. Gets a lot of ball down that Gold Coast back line.
Yeah, because coming in
He
there
just
a lot.
lives there.
He's got to do
So
something.
how many trades do you have left to finish off the year?
Oh, it's secret information, but I got 2. I'll share it with you guys.
I got 10.
So
Can I have 3 of yours?
Can we sell them? You should be able to sell them. Some kind of black market for selling stuff like that. That'd be good.
You're sitting in 11th.
Yep.
You're how many points off the number 1
Oh,
position?
just over 300. So I need a little bit of luck to go my way, but I reckon it might just happen.
Is there a team you like that's always been your favourite? Like your little bunny, you go and say, I just pick one out of there because you know they're going to get good points.
Well, anyone who's playing the Gold Coast, they're going to go well.
Against the Gold Coast, yes.
Yes.
Not for the Gold Coast.
And is there one player, Damo, that you've just sworn, I'm never picking this bloke again, he's a dud, he's a donkey, he's a dribbler, is there one bloke you just don't want to bar off?
Oh, well, I think Higgins is the number one enemy. Number one enemy in SuperCoach.
Poor old Higgins, he's copping a fair bit of flack today.
Justly deserved. Yeah, justly deserved, Mr. Fragile.
Yeah.
Ooh, no, gains of footy. Oh, what am I doing? He's only 23.
Bloody oath. I hope
23.
Higgins comes out this week and smashes a ton just for you.
Don't do it for me. Do it for yourself.
Ladies and gentlemen, this man won in 2008. He's 11th this year. He's our winner this week. Aka, have you got some type of ceremony, award presentation you can provide?
I know.
It's a big moment.
There's many things. The 25,000 now. There's 50. The marriage in Fiji. I don't think you can top this. I've got an award for you. I've actually put it in there because I don't want to, take too surprised. But as you can see, we've got a massive budget here, and you've won the golden,
money can't buy.
The Jason Agamanis gold handstand award. And can you tell? No one can do a handstand unless you're in gym spastics. But congratulations.
Put your hands together for Damo, our winner.
I don't know. I kiss it. Thanks,
All right, Damo was sensational. This next man, his name is Chopper. He is more ruthless than Aka, and let me tell you, this week, boys, he is not happy.
I'm not happy
Corey and Right, or Corey and Wrong as I like to call him, you, my friend, are a disgrace. You've missed the last 2 games against the Gold Coast Suns because you're sore. Scoring points against the Gold Coast Suns is about as easy as finding a bag of weed at a Corby family barbecue. And you miss? I'm sorry, Corey and Wright, but the price is wrong, bitch. You get the chop.
Big words there, Chopper. Now, we've got our first little team in focus from a team. We've got Courtney, who sent in her team, and she has got a bit of a problem there in the back line. She's got, sitting there at the moment, Danny Stanley, and she's wanting to get rid of him. Now, basically, I think that's a good call. He's almost done for the season. Why not get in a premium player? And I'm thinking probably Suckling. Suckling's a good option there. So use the money you got in the bank, get Suckers in. That's a good option, I reckon.
He's got a massive ceiling, Suckling. He can pump out, 150s for you. So
yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Sorry, Suckling and ceilings. I don't know. I'm just getting the wrong picture here.
Now, if you're in this position, what do you think you'd do?
Oh no, don't trade him. Save yourself 10 points because averages. You're hoping and maybe not. Just go consistently, play the numbers. 10 points. Save that stuff. Save it.
Well, personally, I've looked at this. I think we're in finals time, right? So if I look at the ruck department, Zach Smith's there. He's playing hopeless lately. He might even get rested. I'm thinking Zach Smith to McAvoy, and that's going to get you more points than Stanley to Suckers, I reckon.
That's a good call.
You better ask our expert. What would you do?
Aka, sorry to say, but I agree with you.
Oh, don't say that.
Trades of gold.
Sure you won SuperCoach?
Yeah,
he did.
Aka's a wise man.
2008. That's why I was making lots of points back then.
So just to summarise the end move for us, Warren.
Pretty much, well, Destroy. I reckon Destroy's talking there. Some pretty good stuff. Look elsewhere. Upgrade the rest of your ground. I think that's a very important thing because 10 points, not that much, whereas you could probably get an extra 50 points there by getting in the big McAvoy in.
Well done, Roy. About time you gave us something now. Obviously, the thing we all struggle with every week, who are we going to make skipper? Well, our next guest will tell you who to make captain of your team. This is Captain speaking.
Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. This is Captain speaking. Welcome to the SuperCoach Express Jet for my top 5 captains for this week. Tray tables away, ladies, as we look at Nick Dal Santo, who's averaged 160 in his last 3 games this year. And after his 133 last week, I was that excited, I joined the Mile High Club. By myself. But then we have Juddy in my number 1 spot. He's averaged 150 in his last 3 this year and should dominate again at Patterson Stadium. We're approaching our landing now into Bangkok. So please, lock in Juddy, fasten your seatbelt, and get ready for some turbulence, baby.
On the Fan Show. It is time now for the most important segment of the show. Roy Boy, take and trade. We'll start with me because I'm dominating all the leagues I'm involved in. North Melbourne are not playing this week. The little man Boomer Harvey, goodbye. Now, I want to bring in a man who his break-even point is 80 at the moment. He's just going up and up and up. He plays for Brisbane. Warn Dog, this man, Jackie Redden, if I can give you one piece of advice you blokes listen to, get Jack Redden in your side. Get Boomer Harvey out. Roy, can you match that type of sharp work?
Well, I can because I'm doing a very similar thing. I think it's time for people to say, see you later, Andrew Swallow. He's done his job throughout the year, but you need to be, strongest you can be during finals. So see you, Andy, in my second man crush, Tom Rockcliffe. Yeah, he's unbelievable. He's got a streak of 10 hundreds at the moment. So, boys, can't look past Rocky.
Yeah.
Warnie, can't argue with that. Have you got to say something
big
sensible
one? Well,
stage?
the Nathan Foley experiment is over down at the Warn Dog, so that's going. So I'm going to get rid of the Foley and bring in, wait for this one, the Thoroughbred.
Oh!
Yeah, that was brilliant. Some of my best work. Going to bring in Scotty Thompson. I'm liking what he's got to offer in these last few rounds. So, yeah, Scotty Thompson.
How'd you rate Foley for a season performer?
Well, he started off quite averagely, copping the red vest in the first game. Pretty much summed up his season, so bad call.
Aka, how would you have felt if Lee had said to you in your day, substitution time, Aka, you're off?
Yeah, piss off. That's exactly what I would have said.
Right, Aka, who's in and who's out for you this week?
Oh, I don't know if you can guess, but I don't know. Have I mentioned today? Sean Higgins.
Oh, what a surprise!
Have I mentioned him?
Yeah, you mentioned You've got him in your team.
Yes. Shamefully, you need to get him out. There's lots of reasons. He's fragile, can't play so well. He's overrated. Now get him out. Get Leon Davis in, because once Shaw left, as I mentioned before, he has made this huge vacuum that he's stepped in, filled the void. There's oxygen in there. He's getting kick after kick after kick. Leon Davis is your man.
Well said. I like that, Acker. Calvin Ada, that's some sharp work from Acker.
Yeah, look, I'm chasing Sam Mitchell. And to do that, I'm actually going to do a double trade. I'm going to dump guys like Tom Rockcliffe, Digan, Sean Atley. Oh, I've got Tom Lynch.
Tom Lynch.
Oh, jeez. Nearly got out the wrong guy. Tom Lynch, Sean Atley, those types of guys have made a bit of money sitting on your bench now. I'm going to dump them and I'm going to chase Sam Mitchell. I'm going to let you guys in on another bit of a tip. Dean Cox. Now, he's playing a little bit injured, they reckon. Big Coxie. I reckon he'll camp in the goal square a fair bit. Get on him for most goals. I reckon that's a real hot chance. And also, Cyril Rioli, he's playing your favourite witches hats there, Acker. He should kill them. Most disposals, most goals. He should score a ton of points. So, Miranda, what odds you got for them?
Thanks, Calvin. The fantasy odds this week offer some great wagering. If you like Calvin and believe Dean Cox will kick the most goals, he's paying 20 to 1. Cyril Rioli is paying 6 to 1 to rack up more Dream Team points than Buddy Franklin, which may be a good bet if it's a day for the small forwards. And if you think Collingwood will accumulate the highest combined SuperCoach score, you are in luck, because they are paying 7 to 1. Great odds there. Please be sure to visit the Fan Show website for the best range and most generous fantasy odds.
Beautifully done, Miranda. All right, it's now time to have a look at the Fan Show scores. Now, this is a combination, boys, of your Dream Team score and your SuperCoach score. You need to get involved in both these leagues, because then you can get involved in the Fan Show prices. Warnie, take us through it, please. Price is Right style.
Well, let's have a look at that. We've got Destroy sitting on top. I am chasing him very hard at the moment, sitting in second place. So, yep, Destroy's up there. Calvin.
Yeah!
One of the things that you're doing right this season, you combine your scores all right. Then we've got Acker, Howie, and then Miranda bringing up the tail at the moment.
Wouldn't we love to see Acker and Harry on top of Miranda? That would be just great.
Miranda.
Yeah, at least in this
children's show, that is what we are doing here. Jason, Miranda.
Sorry.
On that thought, it's back to you with the weather.
Fellas, a good round for fantasy as nature blesses us with a beautiful weekend. Obviously, the Friday night game is unaffected due to being at Etihad and the roof closed. A fine night, low wind and 14 degrees. Saturday, a sunny day, low wind in the west for the Fremantle-Carlton clash, 20 degrees there. And Melbourne will be fine on Saturday for the Hawthorn-Port match with no wind to speak of. Western Bulldogs and Essendon unaffected on Saturday night due to being at Etihad and the roof closed, but only 8 degrees, so rug up. Brisbane and the Gold Coast will have an overcast night at the Gabba, but no chance of rain, though light winds are expected, and 16 degrees. The Melbourne West Coast and Richmond Sydney games will be sunny with no chance of rain. Perfect playing conditions in Melbourne, 17 degrees. And finally, Adelaide and Geelong will fight it out in slippery conditions at Amy Stadium, but the rain is not expected till after play, 11 degrees there.
Spot on, Miranda. Thanks for the all-important weather information. All right, it is time to talk captains now. First, we'll talk SuperCoach, and for mine, he's playing Port Adelaide. He's going to kick a bag. He's worth the risk this week. Buddy Franklin is my captain this week, Roy.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty excited. I'm getting behind Chris Judd. I reckon he's going to smash out a 150. Can't go past his numbers. Judd Knight.
Yeah, Juddy the same for me. I think I've got to listen to the pilot. He knows what he's on about, so big numbers.
Good looking bloke too. Juddy averages 129 at Patterson's in SuperCoach, so keep an eye on him. He's my captain.
Sean Higgins? No, seriously, Buddy, he's playing against the worst side in the comp at the moment. Port Adelaide, aren't they? Crap.
No. Spot on, Miranda. We've got 2 buddies and 3 Juddies.
I'm going to go against the grain and say Cyril. He's delicious.
Yeah, no, he is delicious, and that is why he is the captain of my dream team. I'm going Cyril against Port Adelaide, the captain of my dream team.
Yeah, I'm going Swanee. Dane Swan. Can't pass the big fella up.
Yeah, Swanee, and I want some big fantasy piggery this weekend.
He's going to be a pig, and it's, yeah, Swanee for me.
Pig in the business. No, Pendlebury, because he'll be around the pig. He can just get off the pig and maybe get some scraps.
Yeah,
no pigs for me. I'll go Swanee.
Miranda, you've done a beautiful job. Thanks for all your contribution this week on the Fan Show. You've been fantastic. Very nicely done by Miranda. All right, Warn Dog, you've been sensational. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And boy, next week a couple of teams are in here. We've got the Muppets and the Fraggles, so it's a big week for Jim Henson. Boys, thank you very much. You've been all fantastic. This is the Fan Show. We'll see you again soon for all the information you could ever need on fantasy footy. This is the Fan Show.